Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the 42nd annual 2024 Ocean State Grnad National Karate Championships. I'm your host, Mike Petracca, and I am here with two people that make this event possible, and they are the promoters of this event, and I'm talking, of course, about Don and Christine Rodriguez. Don and Chris, what are you most proud of in this 2024 Ocean State Grands?
I guess I would say the amount of prize money that we're giving and the quality of competitors that it brought in. I mean, every division was stacked this weekend. I mean, the best of the best were here, so I'm proud of that.
And Coach Rodriguez, I know you've been doing this for a very long time. How important is it for you to give the prize money back to the competitors?
Well, it's extremely important. You know, we were lucky enough to get some sponsors to come along and, put up the money for this year. And we're giving out more money than anybody's ever given out before for a single division, which is $10,000 for one division. And for women, we're giving out $5,000 for one division. It's never been done before, so we're making a bit of history here at the Ocean State this year.
And I'm sure more history will be made. And talking about someone who's made history here and everywhere else, Jackson, what do you got to say to Don and Chris?
Well, Mike, you're too kind, and there is certainly a ton of rich history here at the Ocean State Grnad Nationals. All kinds of martial arts champions have graced this very stage, and more of those legends will be made tonight. Coach, and I call him Coach because he is the coach of Team Paul Mitchell. We call him that affectionately. Can you just speak briefly on the rich history of the Ocean States?
Well, you know, the who's who of sport karate have competed on this stage, including the person that to my left and to my right, who made history, both of them, and have been very inspirational to people that have been competing on here. A lot of the people competing on that stage is because of these two people.
Well, thank you, Coach. And 42 years of history all leads up to this evening. Stay tuned for more martial arts superstars in action.
Tragedy knows no gender, it knows no socioeconomic status, it knows no space, no time. People have free will, and they can use that will, and that will can catch any of us in the trajectory. And that's why we all need to take responsibility for our actions.
Accidents happen. When they do, you'll want to contact Ocean State Collision Center. With over 40 years of exceptional service backed by a team of mechanical experts that specialize in all areas of auto repairs. When repairs are complete, we personally inspect every vehicle to assure you that your car meets 100% of all factory specifications. From insurance claims, tows, to tune-ups, Ocean State Collision Center is New England's resource for all your auto needs. Visit us at Facebook or call 40130533811 for all your auto needs.
And now we transition back to forms and weapons competition. This is Amanda Duarte. She was your forms overall grand champion this weekend, but now she is here in the 1300 girls weapons grand championship.
And she was quite impressive the first time we saw her. I'm expecting nothing less this time.
With the white gi top, gi translating to uniform, and the black hakama for the sword. Amanda Duarte represents Team Revolution. Head coach Cannell Lovelace.
And tell me, Jackson, in traditional forms such as this, what is pacing and why is it so essential?
It's an excellent question. Pacing is a really important part, not because the judges necessarily consider it directly in their scoring criteria, but it's how, as a performer, you maintain the interest of the audience, which includes the judges, right? And what I mean by that is that, for example, on that slow technique, if she had performed that technique even slower, or if she had paused longer after the fact, then the judges and the audience starts to be like, okay, what comes next, right? And there starts to be impatience in your spectators. And so pacing is enough to have suspense where you want people wondering, like, oh, what's going to happen next? But you're not leaving them waiting too long. It's that perfect balance. And traditionalists, more so than any other competitor, really do a good job of kind of mastering what pacing is going to maintain attention without rushing through the form.
Thank you.
Nice jumping technique, showing off some balance and leg strength.
That slow, deliberate across the arm. Beautiful intensity.
And a final stab to the ground. Has to resheath the sword one final time, and that will do it for a beautiful sword form from Amanda Duarte.
Wonderful. I look forward to seeing more of Amanda Duarte.
And again, we're just in the 13 and under girls division, so we've got many, many more years of watching Amanda Duarte excel at martial arts ahead. And we spoke earlier about how Team LeClaire was the most well-represented team here at the Ocean State Grnad Nationals. One of their own taking the stage now, Camille Trapoto, much to the delight of the crowd here.
The crowd erupted when she came out.
It starts with a full twist to get the crowd into it. Opting to go no music. I don't think she's going to have any problem getting some attention from this crowd.
I don't think so, Jackson. We've seen that a couple of times tonight, no music.
It is an important strategic decision for some competitors, and in a matchup against a traditionalist, not as big of a strategic decision as when you're matched up with somebody else doing extreme to music. Now she's getting into the main part of her form. High-speed nunchuck manipulation. This is a favorite weapon among a lot of fans at home. Weapon made famous, of course, by Bruce Lee. And in the sport karate world, a guy like Matt Emig. If you don't recognize that name after you're done watching the Ocean State Grnad Nationals, make sure you go look it up. Nice creative kicking combo. Setting up for a big tumbling pass here. Round off flash kick, and resets. Now the closing moments of the form ahead.
Now, did you see a little slip up on the landing or no? Is that just me?
I didn't comment on it because I'm not sure if that was an intentional step away from the judges back towards the back of the ring or if it was a stumble. And oftentimes, as a judge, you have to give benefit of the doubt because these athletes are choreographing their own form. So, of course, if something looks funky, then that might deserve a couple of points being taken off. But if you truly don't know if it was intentional or a mistake, most judges will err on the side of, let's assume it was intentional, and maybe next time I watch her, if it doesn't look as good, then maybe it is a mistake. But anyway, huge double spin release with the chucks linked together. An exclamation point at the end of a fantastic performance from Camille Trapoto. And as we go to scoring, that question will be answered for us, what the judges thought about that one little step that you saw in the back corner of the ring.
Now, I know it shouldn't, but does the crowd noise influence the judges at all?
The politically correct answer is no. The real answer is, of course it does. hear another roar erupt from the Team Revolution faithful as Amanda Duarte gets 4 9.99s. In a division that was this close, it might come down to the smallest little thing, like enough of those judges thinking, that step to the back of the ring was a little funny.
Wow,
You know what I mean? And with a 4-3 split by 1/100th of a point, Amanda Duarte wins another overall grand championship on the evening.
Amanda Duarte, it's turned out to be her night. Amazing.
Got a couple of executives from Team Paul Mitchell, Executive Director Chris Rappold, joined by co-founder Steve Babcock in the jacket.
Spend your spring in Warwick. Explore the beautiful outdoors. Get up close and personal with nature. Take a hike. Go kayaking with the family. And try your shot at horseback riding. Visit the bay and our gorgeous beaches. Step back in time at Clouds Hill Museum and sink your teeth into delicious food at our local hotspots, all while soaking in our breathtaking views. Stay in Warwick, see Rhode Island.
Accidents happen. When they do, you'll want to contact Ocean State Collision Center. With over 40 years of exceptional service backed by a team of mechanical experts that specialize in all areas of auto repairs. When repairs are complete, we personally inspect every vehicle to assure you that your car meets 100% of all factory specifications. From insurance claims, tows, to tune-ups, Ocean State Collision Center is New England's resource for all your auto needs. Visit us at Facebook or call 40130533811 for all your auto needs.
Tragedy knows no gender, it knows no socioeconomic status, it knows no space, no time. People have free will, and they can use that will, and that will can catch any of us in the trajectory. And that's why we all need to take responsibility for our actions.
Henry Hawkinson, we saw him last year. Jackson, everybody seems like they've had a little bit of a growth spurt. Either that or I'm getting shorter, man.
So Henry Hawkinson takes the stage to perform his Japanese kata. Kata, just the Japanese translation of the word form.
Crowd trying to pump up Henry. How about that snap, Jackson?
Explosive start for Henry. Beautiful side kick, transition right to the knife hands to the front.
Again, you see the intensity and the quickness with those turns and pivots.
And really an underrated high level of difficulty there. I mean, if he makes one of those fast pivots and has the slightest bit of misstep, if you see one of his feet reset even a little bit, that could be the difference in him winning and losing tonight. So the more that he does these fast twitch transitions, every single time he does that, he's taking a huge risk. However, every single time that he does it properly, as he's done it every time so far in this performance, he's just given himself bonus points.
Is this pretty flawless to you right now? Have you seen anything that would make you believe otherwise?
So far, so good. Everything going according to plan for Henry Hawkinson.
And Jackson, I'm looking at the deep knee bend in those horse stances and the deliberation of the holding of the moves. I mean, that's got to take a lot of power and discipline itself, doesn't it?
Absolutely. There's a ton of endurance that goes into traditional kata. I mean, by the time that you get to the end of a 3-ish minute form, I mean, your legs are burning, especially a form like this where he continues to go into those low horse stances and back stances. Very difficult. And then to have a jumping kick like that deep into the routine.
I love that routine, I think that was a great routine.
It's a very good kata for him. And that's a good point to bring up, is that a lot of athletes pick their kata very strategically to match their strengths or to counter the strengths of their opponents, or sometimes capitalize on the weaknesses of their opponents. There's a lot of strategy that goes into the kata that someone chooses to perform, and Henry running a very fitting kata there. As we transition now to Judah Sagawa, representing Team Freestyle, hailing from San Diego, California. And Mike, as you know, he is no stranger to this stage.
Yes, sir. He won the 13 and unders last year. There you go. Would that be the corkscrew?
That was a huge kick full, and that's a good point to bring up, is the difference between a corkscrew and a full. A corkscrew, which we are going to see some of them in this form, is going to be a backflip with a full twist taking off of 1 foot. When you take off of 2 feet, that's what you call it a full twist, which is more the gymnastic turn. But he had it on a kick before it, which is why we call it a kick full.
Kick full.
And now we see him mixing in those martial arts techniques with the hand combinations, and you might get to see your corkscrew coming up. Instead, no corkscrew yet. There's your corkscrew.
There it is. All right. Oh, my
3
God.
swing corkscrews in a row.
Well, he must have knew I wanted that.
And actually, he faked me out a little bit, because the first technique that he went for was what we call a shuriken cutter, but he took off of 2 feet. So that was a full twist, 2 spins with 2 big crescent hook kicks coming around. And then he comboed that with the 3 swing through corks. I mean, he's getting close to the end of this form, and we're still talking about that one gigantic combo. Judah Sagawa bringing the house down with a huge level of difficulty, all jam-packed into that one combination.
I mean, what was that, 30 seconds that he did all that in? What? Amazing. I mean.
And that's another big difference between the traditional and the extreme, is that the traditional is more of your marathon, where the extreme is more of a sprint. We were just talking about in Henry's form, the leg endurance necessary to maintain those low stances and land that high kick at the end. And then for Judah, it's expending that entire gas tank within 40 seconds.
Wow. Amazing.
Score 9.99, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98. 9.98, 9.98, and 9.99.
So Henry Hawkinson able to grab 2 9.99s from the judges. But if my math is correct, that won't be quite enough. And Judah Sagawa will get those other 5 judges on his side, and he will be our overall grand champion.
Yeah, I mean, this is one where I wish you could give it to both.
Right.
Because it was so spectacular in their own way. CMX and the traditional.
And that's one of the things that is so tough about sport karate, is that historically we always declare an overall grand champion, which means at some point you have to compare apples to oranges. If you're not doing that, then it's not really overall. It's a divisional grand championship, which is what these athletes have to win to get to this level. And so at the overall grand championship level, there has to be this kind of unusual apples to oranges comparison that so often is ripping at our heartstrings, because we're like, they were both so good.
This
and
one
they were
hurt me a
both
little bit. This one hurt me.
How do you pick one of them? And that's why we're in the booth and we're not judges.
I know. You're right.
Accidents happen. When they do, you'll want to contact Ocean State Collision Center. With over 40 years of exceptional service backed by a team of mechanical experts that specialize in all areas of auto repairs. When repairs are complete, we personally inspect every vehicle to assure you that your car meets 100% of all factory specifications. From insurance claims, tows, to tune-ups, Ocean State Collision Center is New England's resource for all your auto needs. Visit us at Facebook or call 40130533811 for all your auto needs.
Spend your spring in Warwick. Explore the beautiful outdoors. Get up close and personal with nature. Take a hike. Go kayaking with the family. And try your shot at horseback riding. Visit the bay and our gorgeous beaches. Step back in time at Clouds Hill Museum and sink your teeth into delicious food at our local hotspots, all while soaking in our breathtaking views. Stay in Warwick, see Rhode Island.
This is going to be the 16-17, so junior boys sparring, tall versus short grand championship. On the right in the red helmet, you have Trey Brown Williams of Top 10 Team USA. On the left in the black helmet, you have Sebastian Villanueva representing Team Paul Mitchell, the home team this evening.
Getting ready to start, everybody.
Villanueva explodes off the line, 1 point. In point sparring, you're going to see 1 point scored for all hand techniques, 2 points for all kicking techniques, unless it is a jump spinning kick to the head, that is worth 3 points. Right there, we saw Villanueva back up into the black, which results in a penalty point for going out of bounds. So our score is knotted at 1 apiece.
And no hitting below the belt or at the legs, correct?
Absolutely. Inadvertent hits to the legs are not a penalty. Of course, they do need to be inadvertent, and a huge kick there from Brown Williams for 2 points. He's up 3-1.
Oh, nice hook kick.
Another big hook kick from Brown Williams. He opens up a 5-1 lead. The taller fighter, he needs to use that leg to his advantage. Villanueva is going to have to find a way to get around it. Little trip there from Villanueva, but he recovers quickly.
And they stop the action. Would you like to see more lateral movement right now? Looks like he's standing right in front of those leg kicks.
Well, I think Villanueva believes that he's got a speed advantage, so he's got to be wary of the leg. But if he has the speed advantage, he should be able to take off that blitz and land it just like he did on the very first exchange. There, he tries to get the hand up to guard the blitz, but it looks like the kick slides through and kicks to the helmet.
That looked like it got in. 1.
I saw the kick up top as well, but David Bossonette says he sees the punch and gives 1 to Villanueva. Villanueva playing defense. Terry Creamer in the corner calls an exit. 1 point to Brown Williams.
Oh, he tried
huge
for the blitz,
side kick,
but he got caught. Big side kick to the solar plexus.
And Villanueva's in a tough spot. He knows that he's got to try to get points back, so that's why he exploded off the line there. But Brown Williams was ready for it, throws the side kick under the armpit, and then the huge round kick over the top. And 12-2, that is a 10-point spread, and that will complete the grand championship. A huge performance there.
Well done.
That was amazing. That was a very impressive performance from Trey Brown Williams, somebody who's always in the finals. His opponent, Sebastian Villanueva, for Trey Brown Williams to show up here and defeat Sebastian at Team Paul Mitchell's home event. A really, really impressive performance, and you got to give it to him. I mean, he had 4 or 5 highlight reel kicks throughout that fight. It was a beautiful game plan, and he executed it very well.
Amazing, amazing. And we saw it in this competition where the longer or the bigger fighter did win. But in point fighting, it's not necessarily that the bigger fighter has the advantage because it's a speed game. Isn't that
absolutely right? We now transition to another junior fight, the 16-17 girls sparring grand championship. I mentioned briefly earlier how this is the tall versus the short. They split point sparring for the juniors into 2 different divisions, a tall division and a short division, split up subjectively by the center judge. They kind of look at the division and split it up just to make it more fair for our young competitors. But here at the 16-17 age group, they want these grand championships because when you're an adult and you fight in open weight, you're going to be fighting everybody no matter how tall or short you are.
That's true.
So on the left, we have Sofia Rodriguez Flores in the white helmet. In the black helmet, we have Serafina Fish representing Team Army Strong. Sofia Rodriguez Flores still representing Team Infinity, but wearing her diamond or Millennium uniform from Millennium Martial Arts in Miami, where she trains for all of her point sparring skills.
Looks like it got it in. You know, it's so weird seeing Sofia Rodriguez Flores in a sparring way.
A multi-talented martial artist for sure, as she knots this match at 1 apiece. Fish takes off first, and Serafina Fish scores. She's up 2-1.
Fish is really scoring to the body there. And again,
another one
no.
underneath.
No,
they go over the top
okay.
to Sophia.
And that's one thing, Jackson, I think you told me, is that one of the art of point fighting is you have to score in position where the majority of the judges see it, correct?
Absolutely. It's a huge part of the game. Like at our angle, we could not see that side kick land, but the judges could. 2 points for Fish and another point for Fish. She's really starting to put together a run here. She's up 6-2.
Body shot scores for Rodriguez Flores.
Rodriguez Flores stops the bleeding there, and Fish answers, now up 7-3. Fish scores on the clash. Fish takes off again. Counter punch. Rodriguez Flores. Nothing scores.
They cannot agree.
You need 2 out of the 3 judges in order to score a point. Sophia scoops the leg there and throws the body punch to score. Another one for Rodriguez Flores. She might be working on a comeback.
Oh, that head shot looked like it caught by Fish, and it is
Beautiful,
a point.
beautiful defensive kind of lead hand hook punch. And then a side kick to really open up this match for Serafina Fish. She's starting to pull away, 11-5.
Beautiful shot. Fish is really getting in there with those punches, quick.
And Serafina Fish with a very impressive performance. She wins this match 12-5, and she is your grand champion here at the Ocean State Grnad Nationals.
The future has never looked brighter for sport karate, as seen today at the 2024 Ocean State Karate Grand Championships. Congratulations to Amanda Duarte for capturing the 13 under Black Belt Weapons Grand Championships. Congrats to Judah Sagawa for capturing the 14 to 17-year-old Boys Forms Grand Championships. And congratulations to Troy Brown Williams for winning the boys 16 to 17-year-old Boys Tall versus Short Fighting Grand Championships. And to Serafina Fish for winning the girls 16 to 17-year-old girls Tall versus Short Fighting Grand Championships. Make sure to join us next Saturday as Team Paul Mitchell takes on Team Diamond 3G.